I'm Heidi Dotson, Senior Clinical Exercise Physiologist at Home Base.
Hi, I'm Marlene DaCosta, Exercise Physiologist at Home Base.
We're here to talk to you about social distancing with exercise and the new mask policy. When exercising outdoors, it's important to maintain social distancing, staying 6 feet apart from other people. Always wear a mask when exercising outdoors around others in the community. If you find yourself exercising and other people coming nearby, move to the other side of the sidewalk to maintain that social distance. Remember, social distancing is the #1 way to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
You may feel funny wearing a face covering at first. However, it will not hinder your breathing. You will be protecting yourself as well as protecting others.
Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Nealand and I am the expressive arts therapist and yoga instructor at Home Base, a partnership with the Red Sox Foundation and Massachusetts General Hospital. As the CDC has begun recommending that community members wear masks in public spaces, I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about the difference between a medical mask and a non-medical fabric-based mask, as well as show you some ways that you can make a fabric-based mask at home. So a non-medical mask is used to reduce the distance in which your respiratory droplets spread. So using a mask along with social distancing practices help to make sure that your respiratory droplets don't spread farther than 6 feet. As we are advised to act as though we are already carriers of the virus, a non-medical mask is a respectful practice for the good of others. As they are not a protectant against the virus, it is not a protectant for yourself. As opposed to a medical mask, which is almost 95% effective at filtering the virus. However, at this time, it is most important to leave those supplies for our healthcare workers on the front lines. Additionally, non-medical masks help to remind us not to touch our eyes or our face in a public space. They can be especially helpful for young children who might not remember when they touch their face or even realize it. We encourage you to keep checking on the CDC and hospital websites for the most up-to-date information on best community practices. Although this is a time of uncertainty, there are practices and measures that we can take to support community health. We are all in this together. So I will go into the mask tutorial next. I suggest taking a moment to gather the following materials. The best material to use for your mask is a thicker based fabric. So you want to look for a flannel or a thicker pillowcase up to 600 thread count, or quilting fabric is also a good option here. You want to stay away from jersey cotton as it tends to be a thinner fabric, but 100% cotton works great as well. So bandanas or an old t-shirt would be a great option. And if those are your only option, also grab paper towels or coffee filters, and I'll show you ways to add additional filtering so that your 100% cotton fabric can be the most effective. Also, you want to grab a couple of hair ties if those are available, or an additional piece of fabric that you can cut into thin strips for our ear holds. This is a tutorial based on CDC recommendations, so you can also check out the CDC website and look at their tutorial for more information. So take a moment to grab all of the materials that you possibly have, and I will go through the mask making process with you. So I have my bandana, I have a piece of paper towel, and I have 2 hair ties. I've stretched out these hair ties a little bit so that they're a little bit looser on my ears. And I'm going to take my paper towel and cut it to about an inch in on each side. And if you're using a coffee filter, you can just cut off the bottom of the coffee filter so that it's about the size of the mask when it's done. So these can get discarded. And if you're using a thicker fabric material, you can just use the same mechanism without the filter in the center and cut the piece of fabric to the same size as a bandana. So now I'm going to take the top of my bandana and fold it halfway down so it's halfway covering my paper towel. I'm going to take the bottom half and come up to meet the top. And then I'm going to take my hair ties and put them on either ends of my bandana. And if you're using pieces of fabric instead of hair ties, you can just lie the pieces of fabric where the hair ties would go. Now I'm going to take the ends of my bandana and fold them into the center. And take one end of your bandana, open it a little bit, and tuck the other side into that open side. Kind of flatten it out a little bit so that it lays flat when you put the mask on. And then you can readjust your ear holds and hold the center while you do that so that it doesn't unfold itself. And then use the ear holds to keep this in place, and you can kind of push it to mold onto your face. You really want to make sure that it's covering your nose and covering the bottom of your chin. So I've kind of folded it in up here so that it matches up with my nose, and I've pulled it down a little bit so that it can cover underneath my chin. So it's recommended that the masks are washed after every use and the filter is replaced if you're utilizing one. Additionally, there are a lot of community members out there that are creating masks that are sewn at home with the ability to have replaceable polypropylene filters and a wire grip nose. So that might offer a little bit of a snugger fit if you are interested in supporting small businesses at this time. The best place to find them is the creative website called Etsy, and there are a ton of wonderful options there, but I recommend making sure to read the description of these masks to ensure that they're made with the CDC recommended filter and fabric before buying. Thank you so much for reviewing this tutorial, and my best wishes to you and your family's health.
For more information about our health and wellness programs, please visit us at homebase.org.
Or follow us on social media at Homebase Program using hashtag HBHealthAtHome.